Gentle breeze blowing on this warm northern night. Sagebrush and earth tone dreams fill my mind. Strange sense of calm, like all my troubles have been laid aside. September moon is shining bright. I've spent a lot of magical evenings from New York to LA, but you haven't lived. You've seen the sunset in Santa Fe. Oh, you just can't imagine land enchanted, gold and purple skies, postcard flowers as far as my eyes can see.
Well, Jack, how did you get your record deal?
Well, I had a demo that I did at a friend's house. I recorded at Mark Padilla's studio, like back in the day. And I was writing record companies and shopping that around, trying to see if I could get something happening. I had a friend that had moved out there previously, and I sent her a demo because she said, hey, I'm out and I'm doing some things and I'm hanging with some people that you may recognize, and I didn't take her seriously at first, but I decided, well, don't have anything to lose, just send the demo and stuff, and I sent it, and she was able to connect with some people at a party. They were playing it at a party that Rick James was throwing, and he happened to be there, and Tina, and a really good friend of his named Pete Kelly, who wanted to get into managing artists. And when he heard the cassette, he was like, I need to find out who this kid is, and I need his info, and I want to talk to him. So she called me and told me to expect a call from him, and of course I didn't take her that seriously, once again, and within a day or two, I think it was, Pete called me. The first thing was, send me a plane ticket to fly out to meet my manager in person. We've been talking on the phone and stuff. We had a meeting with CBS, which is now SONY, of course, but the record company, and they got to meet me, and we talked about what their plan was and what my vision was, and I came back and we got the process started. It was a shocker, it really was, yeah. And he meant business, because he was already, I'm gonna have a plane ticket, try and get everything together by next week, and so it was like, immediate. You meet with the person who signed you, which in this case it was Larkin Arnold, he was the president at that time. And then you meet with the art people and meet with all these other people, and they just kind of get a feel for your music and your look and that whole thing, and they just kind of tell you what they like to do. I had 3 songs that were the ones that I had sent that I thought were my best 3, even though I had a bunch of other songs, and they wanted me to go in and recut them so they sounded better sonically. So I went in and I recorded those songs first as demo, and then that's when Larkin presented that to the rest of the staff and the team, and then that's when they said, okay, let's give this kid a shot.
Tell me about how it was, recording in the major recording studios in LA.
I recorded at the record plant, I recorded at a place called Ocean Way, and there was another place called Wide Tracks in the Valley. I recorded at a place called Mad Hatter as well. That was Chick Corea's studio. And so we just took the tracks and we mixed them at the Capitol Records building at that time.
That's awesome. Who were your industry friends?
Rick James, of course, and Tina was a really good friend of mine. We got to be real close. Tina Marie, Smokey Robinson, Liza Minnelli. One time I sat and had a drink with Tommy Lee and Vince from Motley. There were just tons of people. Shalimar, it's funny because they had just added a new member. His name was Mickey Free, and he and I got to be really close because he was one of the first people to take me in, because I went out there in parachute pants and all this stuff thinking I was rock and roll, and they were looking at me like, dude, that's not gonna fly out here. So he took me to Melrose and we got clothes that were actually well made and cost a little bit of money.
Tell me, how was it seeing your album in record stores?
At the time, they had a place in the mall here called the Record Bar. And I used to go in and I had a bin with my record in it right next to Michael and Prince and all the contemporaries of the day, you know, Luther and all those people. So that was a huge thrill. You know, I'd go in there and all the little girls that I knew, come here. And I'd go and show them and they'd be like, you know, because there were a lot of people that still didn't really know because I was living out there then. So that was fun for a kid.
What was your largest gig you played?
So when I got to finally perform live, it was for a thing called the Black Radio Exclusive Conference. It was called the BRE for short. And they had it up at Universal in the Valley. Rick James had a protege band that he was doing at the time called Process and the Do-Rags. That was the actual name. So he and the Stone City Band opened the show as far as he made an appearance so it would be more impactful for his group. And they were like a modern day Temptations. They were really great singers. They had steps down. And we came on after those guys. So that was the largest, and it was kind of an interesting showcase thing. So there were a lot of people there, the contemporaries and a lot of record execs and people like that there.
Tell me about the bands you played with back in the day in Albuquerque.
We had a band called Clockwork. And that was the one that was like the catalyst. One professional band was which was the Funky Bunch, which is one of the big R&B bands around here. And when I was 16, my father let me join on the condition that I kept my grades up. You know, they taught me everything I needed to prepare me for this journey because I was green. I mean, I didn't even have a case of my guitar. I'd sling it over my back and walk to, we rehearsed at John Marshall. And I got into Juan Mena's band, Gypsy. And that was the catalyst. Meeting Donnie Tesso and all those cats, we've known each other for that long. And later on, we all got together and decided as friends to do this band, Soul Divine. So we were founding members of that band.
How about the Albuquerque musicians?
Stellar. I mean, I could sit here with a list that would roll out this stage and out the door of the people that I love and admire here for their gifts because they're just awesome. I always wish that I would have been able to make a bigger impact to get some more visibility on New Mexico and Albuquerque in particular, but it's going to happen because the talent here is just too large to be contained.
Let's go to your early life.
So yeah, product of Albuquerque. I mean, I was born and raised here, schooled here, grew up here, grew up in the sticks. Sticks boy. Dad was a product of the doo-wop era. That's what he liked. So he was more a vocalist, and he did play guitar. And he's the one that taught me to play. My mom's dad, mother and dad, we had uncles on that side that, the blues, like a lot of African American families. I mean, a lot of people play guitar and they sing the blues. So I had a lot of uncles, or great uncles, I should say, that taught me things as well. And Dad had friends that played, and they taught me stuff. They gave me gear. I got one of my first wah-wahs, well, the first wah-wah I ever owned from one of his friends. He had a lot of friends at the city, and those guys would come over, and they would teach me how to play cumbias and rancheras, and that's where I learned that stuff. So it was pretty, my dad spoke fluent Spanish. It was funny because my friends would come over and they'd hear him on the phone, or they'd hear him talking to his co-workers. They'd be at the house and they would look at me and I'm like, yeah.
How about the music stores in Albuquerque?
Back in the day, here it was yours. Later on, when you guys opened Lesman's, Lucchetti's. You remember Lucchetti's? And then there was a place that when I was very young and I loved it, Wild Wild West music. Remember that? That was on Central, and some of those guys had been in California, so they were old rock dudes, and I loved them because they knew their stuff and they knew the amps. Mickey Patton, another person who helped do some recording with me and showed me some things about grandma's music. Ryan and those guys, I mean, that was a place we were all, especially during the Soul Divine days, we were always in there.
Hey Jack, it's me, Stephen Michael Casala. I just wanted to personally congratulate you for being inducted into the Mexico Music Hall of Fame. I've always been a fan. I've seen your career throughout the years, man. I'm always amazed on the talent that comes out of New Mexico, and I'm so proud of your work and who you've become. And even bigger than that, I really love the human being that you are. Because to me, being a good human being surpasses all the talent in the world, man. And you're lucky you have both, man. So congratulations. Enjoy your evening. You deserve it.
Hey everybody, Donnie Tesso here. I am here to say a few things about Mr. Jak Bailey. Jak, man, you know we got so many stories. One day, you know, in your book, we can talk about it, and people can just go, okay. Everybody, Jak Bailey has been my friend for over 30 years. We met each other in 1988 when I moved here from Las Vegas, and he had just moved back from Los Angeles. His career is so awesome. He's done so many things that so many of us have not done. An artist signed by a major record label? Yeah, as a 24-year-old. And yeah, that's Jak Bailey. You're Jak Bailey. Albuquerque's Jak Bailey. This man is the epitome of a musician, everybody. I know this. I've witnessed it firsthand for 30-some years. Vocal arranger like crazy. Guitar playing fool, plays bass better than I do, keyboards, arranges music, writes music. What does he not do? Engineers his own music. He is amazing, folks. Jak Bailey is so well deserving of this award as a member of the New Mexico Music Hall of Fame. Jak, man, you know where I'm at with this. I wish all of you knew what I know, and maybe you will. Jak Bailey is the best musician that I know, just plain and simple. And I've worked with many. Yeah, Jak Bailey, congratulations, bro. Okay, let's go have one. See you soon.